Hey YouTube, it's Burgerbob22, or Aiden, whatever you want to call me. Got my weekly here. I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm going to have to be kind of quick. Fixing the camera here. I put the tripod away every time. And so I'm not going to really play a lot today. I'm just not going to play. I'll just put it out there. I didn't have a lot of time to work up things. No one gave me suggestions, so I didn't have anything to bring up this week. But I did do some reading on the internet. Reddit. It's one of my favorite places. Trombone forum, etc. And I ran into this kind of weird mindset where people don't like orchestral playing. And I guess I can kind of understand that, because you see the trombone players in the back, and they just sit there. A lot of them put their horns down on their slides, and they just kind of they chill out for like 40 minutes, and then at the end they go, oh yay, that's a symphony, yay. And that's kind of a trope. Like it's not like really a thing, but that seems like something that people think trombone players do. And there's some truth to that. I've played Beethoven 9. Yes, Beethoven 9, and you play in the first movement and the last movement. And in the first movement, you have more than 1,000 measures of rest before you get to play. We actually counted it up in rehearsal because we had enough time, that we had 1,024, I think, measures of rest before we got to play. And, that's kind of a lot of rest. It's like half an hour or something of just sitting there waiting for the strings to do their thing so you can come in and play 5 notes. And then wait for 2 more movements, and then play the last movement, which is great. And, that sucks, but it's also an amazing piece. It's lots of music. It doesn't have to be you playing for it to be great music. And, there's... I'll look at my, my script here. Yes, orchestra playing is better, is what I have written. And I'm comparing orchestral playing to maybe like wind ensemble. Jazz is another world. You get to play a lot in jazz band. And if you're a soloist, then do your thing. I've played bass trombone in a jazz band for a long time, and I love it. So it doesn't really compare. I'm talking more about wind ensemble or symphonic band versus orchestral playing, the legit styles that contrast with each other. And I'd say, I love playing in wind ensemble sometimes, because there's some really good rep out there. You get to play really loud, and I don't know, I was in a pretty good wind ensemble. It was fun. But I really enjoy orchestral playing more, especially with a good orchestra, good string section, and that doesn't happen all the time. But you get more bang for the buck. That's what I've written. I've got 2 little quote things here that really exemplify what I think about orchestral playing. When you get more bang for the buck. So in a lot of the, I don't know about a lot, but a good amount of the wind ensemble rap out there, you get to play a lot of notes, and a lot of them don't mean a whole lot. Maybe you get to play, a big loud part at the end. A lot of it's just like, or long notes behind the ballad part, and that's not how I want to spend my time. I want to spend my time playing important stuff. And it's kind of an ego thing. I like to be heard, but it's just also, I don't know. My second quote here is quality over quantity. So if you're going to play some notes, I'd rather have them be the most, heard, most important things in the whole piece, not just every single note behind the whole thing. You don't want to be playing the whole time if all you're playing are, whole notes. Not grade 2 band music, low B flats and Fs, alternating. I'd rather play a really beautiful, quiet chord in a Bruckner symphony, or Schumann, Rhenish, Symphony 3, something like that, than play a whole bunch of notes. And let's see, what else do I have here? So quality over quantity. I like playing better rather than more. Also, playing in a smaller section, and I can't really say that all orchestras are smaller sections and all wind ensembles. Ours was just 3 players in tuba. We didn't double any parts, except for every once in a while. And sometimes we had 4 because there were 4 different parts. But I love playing one to a part. I hate playing with like 3 other bass trombonists, and there's like 7 second trombonists and 19 first trombonists. I hate that. It's the worst. It's fun playing with other trombonists, but I'd rather be playing my own part and nobody else is playing it. Because that's really what brings out the best in you. If you can't hide, if you are put on the spotlight constantly, then it makes you a better player. And I firmly believe that the fewer supporting things you have behind you, the better you're going to play, the better you're going to get as a player. And if you have a good section, then you just keep getting better because everyone's like, man, I'm going to really nail this. And everyone's like, oh, I got to nail that now too, or else we sound bad. And it just keeps going up. And that's just awesome. And you don't really get that in a giant trombone section. And another thing I love about orchestras is that there are, I guess, 4 really distinct sections. There's strings, there's like 100 of them. They all play string instruments. There's the winds, the woodwinds, right behind the strings. They all play woodwinds. There's the brass off to one side or whoever they're arranged. And then there's percussion. It's like 4 really distinct things. And they can blend, I guess, in certain moments, but that's like kind of not the point. You want them to be like different hands of an organ or something. They're not all the same sound. And that's what really good orchestral composers bring out in symphonies and other works, is that the different sections really complement each other and make the ensemble just so much better. And one thing I really just bores me about wind ensembles is that it all sounds the same, just a bunch of wind instruments kind of blah. I was lucky because my wind ensemble, our director was like, guys, don't blend. Each section should have its own sound, and that should, kind of mesh together in the hall, but don't try and sound like everybody else because that makes it so boring. And it took me a long time to realize that. I was like, what? We shouldn't sound the same? But I really like just the separate, and you don't want to think of it as like different ensembles or really separated from each other. You don't want to be like, brass is better or anything like that. But it's just the way the music works. It just sounds so much better when the sounds coming out of the orchestra are so disparate and different that it combines to make such a better thing. Okay, that's the end of my rant. I love orchestral playing, and you should do it too.